12-year-old Uruma Shun is put into hell when 5 elementary school bullies dub him the experimental boy. They bully and berate him daily, but even that is not enough as Uruma still has his family. So, in a final act, the bullies kill Uruma's family and make it look like an accident. Destroyed and depressed, Uruma goes to his grandfather, a retired World War II vet, and seeks to quench the endless torment and pain in his heart. His grandfather gladly takes him under his wing and thus creates the monster, ready to take revenge. This is a manga I picked up in 2021, and I'll be honest, this was a tough read. Fair warning now, this video will contain major manga spoilers, so if you plan on reading this manga, then don't watch the latter half of this video. Anyways, getting into the main aspect of this story, revenge. As the intro states, the first chapter of this manga kicks off with Uruma Shun being bullied by 5 inhuman kids, each of them fucked up in their own sense. After they all plot to kill his family and successfully do it, it sends Uruma on a spiral of grief and agony. He trains for years with his grandfather until he is a killing machine, and eventually he finds them all later in high school. Just to let you all know, this is probably going to be the most tame stuff in this manga. Uruma hunts down each bully and kills all of them except Kyo Shigoku, who is the main antagonist of this entire manga. All while this is going on, the Metropolitan Police are investigating Uruma, and eventually a detective named Zenichi Anzai finds him out. As he follows Uruma around, he starts to piece together all of the stuff from his past, all of the newspaper articles, all of what happened to him as a boy, and he starts to feel bad for him. But eventually, he follows Uruma and walks in on him getting revenge on one of his bullies. Unfortunately, Uruma kills him, and this detective becomes the only innocent man Uruma kills the entire series. Now, I'll be honest, the first part of this story is the best, and it really only goes downhill from here. After killing the detective, Kyo gets away, and Uruma is left to try and hunt him down. Stuff gets a little confusing, and basically, his brother has still been alive. He's just been in a comatose state in the hospital, and Uruma has been kind of looking for Kyo for a year. So, now stay with me guys, because this is the insane part. Basically, Uruma has been following Kyo around, and eventually he's led into a warehouse with Ando and Kyo in there, and a couple other revolutionary members. And basically, they torture and kill his grandfather and brother right in front of him. I won't give many more details about the manga, but this is the best the story was, and honestly, it just seems to drag on and on after the first part of this manga, especially with the Revolutionary Club stuff. Basically, Shikoku makes the club a cult, and they have like their own island where they've recruited people, and they all do depraved, disgusting things on it. There's a weed field on there, there's like drug field, I think it's actually a poppy field for opium, and they recruit random people to go there and make them work, and if they don't comply, they just kill them. It's really fucked up. I don't think I'll get into it in this video, but we can get into it later. So, after the whole arc with Uruma's grandpa and brother dying, he becomes withdrawn and develops amnesia from what I can only assume is trauma. 5 years later, he becomes a hitman, and he's basically like Dexter. He only kills people who truly deserve it. The scenes in this manga are graphic and brutal, but you really learn to root for Uruma, especially because the entire time he's getting into this is because of how disgusting the people are that he kills. This manga really showcases the worst of humanity, and showing that you have to become a monster to get rid of the monsters in this world. Actually, that's probably one of the main themes of this manga, since Uruma himself embraces that he must become like Shigoku to be able to kill him. Now let's talk about Kyo Shigoku for a little bit, because this dude, and yes, believe it or not, he's a dude, is the most vile and disgusting villain I have ever had the displeasure of reading about. He is worse than Griffith. This guy created a whole plan. I mean, he called Uruma Shun an experiment boy because he wanted to do an experiment to see how fucked up he could make someone to make them kill people. And he got his wish. In the final arc, I think they're on the final arc now. They're on some sort of, I think they're on some sort of like island, or they're in a town that's full of Revolutionary Club people. And it's kind of like the final standoff. I haven't read the manga in a couple months, and honestly, I don't think I'm gonna pick it back up to finish it. If you guys want me to, just let me know down below, I might. But Shigoku is disgusting, and the worst part about it is he rarely ever gets in there and gets hands-on. It's always all the other Revolutionary Club members that will do his bidding, and he likes to sit there and watch. The one thing I really dislike about this manga, among the countless other things and atrocities that are in this, is how much is in it. Like, I understand that the author wants to show how fucked up some of these guys are, but at the same time, it just feels like this entire series is some twisted dark fantasy of the author. I dropped this manga about a year ago and caught up on it a couple months ago, and it honestly really affected my mental. The imagery and just raw hatred in the kills is just something that resonated with me a lot, and I had to chill after reading like 40 plus chapters all in one sitting. All in all, if you want a good revenge manga story, I would say read the first 60 or 70 chapters of this manga because it is really damn good. And I actually really enjoyed seeing the bullies get what they deserve. But after that, I would say proceed with caution. This manga is very dark, and it does not get better as the series goes on. I'm talking story-wise and art-wise, because it gets even more dark and depraved later in the story. And it just gets weird too. Shigoku is not a good enough villain, in my opinion, to carry on how long this series has been going on for and how much it's dragged on for. The original part of the story is kind of where I end the whole story for myself, because after that, it's just kind of like JJK, I would say, right? With that, I was hate reading it. Juchiko no Rokunin is one of those that you're gonna hate read. You're gonna read it because you hate it, but you wanna get to the end. Anyways, if you guys made it to the end of this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know what I should read next in the comments down below. This is Koren, signing off.